everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is CeeChronicles. My content is mostly fragrance reviews on this channel, but I also throw in fashion and lifestyle videos. So if you're here for the first time, I do hope you will consider subscribing. I also want to acknowledge my returning subscribers. Thank you so much for coming back. I'm here with popular fragrances within my collection that I'm struggling to love. So I do hope that no one takes any offense. These could be fragrances that you are completely obsessed with, but you know, I do have them in my collection, and I'll tell you why I have them in my collection. Most of them are masterpieces, so I just, you know, feel that I should keep them for longer before I can decide to declutter them, just to see if I can revisit them maybe later. Okay, so these are fragrances that I normally put in dark spaces, in a drawer or something, because I'm trying to, you know, keep I'm trying to keep the shelf life here safe, but I'm not quite digging them. So I'm going to go straight to the first one. Okay, the first one here is going to be Le Parfum. Guys, like I said, if I'm going to pick a fragrance here that you're completely obsessed with, no offense meant. So I hope there's none taken. Okay, Le Parfum. Okay, this is a Maison Francis creation. This fragrance, guys, I'm gonna spray it here because for some reason, okay, I had to get this fragrance because of FOMO, right? If you love fragrances and you are always on YouTube, or you are part of the YouTube community or frag community, then you'll understand that there is always FOMO, you know, where you don't want to miss out. Oh, there's this fragrance, it's raving, I've got to get it. Okay, this was one of them. Le Parfum, the opening is divine. I love the opening. I cannot fault the opening, okay? But there is an overdose of honey that then comes through here, mixed with the African orange, and it gives off this bug spray vibe. And it's this bug spray vibe that I just cannot get over. So this was the first one that I had to bring here of fragrances, popular fragrances that I just am finding hard to love. The next one is going to be and this is the original. Okay, when I did a haul of this one, not a haul, rather, when I was showing you fragrances that I had added to my collection, I did say that I'd gotten this one as a gift. The original. Okay, guys, even the level of the bottle, you know, I'll tell you why it's gotten to this is I normally spray it on my clothes, you know, layer it with something else, or just spray it on my clothes in the closet, you know, because it's, in as much as it's beautiful, it's got this wine-like fermented fruit feel. Okay, if you can picture fruits fermenting, or if you can picture, you know, grapes, and you leave them there, or you forget them in your car or something, and then they start fermenting, or that wine, I get that off this, and it kind of chokes me. Okay, it gives me an imaginary heartburn. Believe it or not, I just get this like imaginary heartburn, and it's just a fragrance that, in as much as I'm struggling to love this one, I just don't dig it. Okay, now the next fragrance I'm going to show you here is going to be this one. Okay, Carolina Herrera's Good Girl. Truthfully speaking, I would have actually decluttered this year's ago if not for the shoe. I am just personally keeping this for the shoe. I wish, or I hope you can see where it's at. It's somewhere there. Okay, I'm struggling to love this fragrance. I just don't find myself wearing this fragrance. And let me just spray it here so that I just remind myself of why. Okay, this Carolina Herrera's Good Girl has got a tonka bean in here. The way the tonka is done in here is quite thick. Okay, it gives off a masculine vibe. It's too deep for me, and it's too stuffy. You know, I just have a thing with fragrances that have a masculine vibe. You know, looking at this stiletto, you wouldn't, you know, I just personally didn't think this would be like masculine leaning. Okay, this I got as a gift from my significant other. He also was so obsessed with this fragrance when he bought it. And I told him, I said, I was disappointed, you know, just smelling it. It just gives off a masculine vibe. It's something that I would expect a male, to smell from a male. So it is what it is. Herrera's Good Girl is one of the popular fragrances that I put in my collection here that I just am struggling to love. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the next one. This one I've never kept a secret from anybody, okay, because there is just something in Alien. Okay, this is Alien by Mugler. Okay, this fragrance, guys, there is a jasmine here. The jasmine here, I do like jasmine fragrances, and I do have a fragrance that was almost, let me see if I can just pull it out for you guys. Okay, let me just show you. It was almost on the fence, almost, going to that jasmine the way it's done, that I don't like. Okay, but somehow I figured this one out, so I like it. Okay, now back to Alien. Okay, Alien by Mugler. Okay, this is first of all, it's a Dominique Rampion creation. Now, if you know some of his fragrances, the only other one I have is Portrait of a Lady. He does his fragrances in a loud way, or at least the two that I have, which is this one and Portrait of a Lady. I find this one screechy. Okay, it reminds me of a pile of brand new magazines. Something here feels like that. It reminds me of, cardboard, I don't know, ink, or something like that. And it's just got this thing that it doesn't lift my mood for some reason. And this is another one that I'm keeping for the bottle because, honestly, I feel the bottle is beautiful to have in my collection, but using it, not necessarily. It's just not my thing. I know it's been reformulated the lot. Okay, this could be a version that is not reformulated. I don't know, because it is just so strong for me, and for some reason it just is one of those fragrances, because I use my fragrances to lift my mood. This one doesn't seem to do that, so for some reason I just don't find myself using it. But I do get why people love this. My daughter is completely obsessed with this, to a point that we did agree. I told her, you can use it up and just give me my bottle, because, I love the bottle. I think this is beautiful, the bottle. Okay, so the next one that I'm going to talk about here, and like I said, no offense meant, guys, is Chanel Allure Sensual. Okay, most of the fragrances that I don't dig, you can see by where they are. I've had this one for 2 years or 3. But look at where it's at. Look at where it's at. It just, to me, let me just spray it here for it to remind me of, what it is. Chanel Allure Sensual. This is another one that comes across as masculine to me. It's got like a masculine kind of thing going on with it there. Okay, and I remember one day when I was I did a video and I spoke about this, and Maud Toussaint Como said to me, she is also into fragrance. She said, no, layer it with something else, you will love it. I'm completely obsessed with this one, you will love it. Layer it with something else. Okay, I haven't tried that. I'm still too, but it's just got this masculine thing that's going on there. It smells so heavy, too woodsy, masculine leaning, quite dated. The patchouli here is just on steroids, and I think that is the other reason why I just find myself having kind of like a love-hate relationship with it. Now, moving on to the next one. Okay, the next one is going to be this one, Marc Jacobs Decadence. How I would have loved to love this fragrance. I know there's a lot of flankers after this, and I know this one's been discontinued. I know there's a lot of flankers. I haven't tried those, so I'm not necessarily slagging off anything. I'm here to talk about Decadence. Look at where it is. Okay, this is probably going to stay in this level for I don't know how long, because, and again, this is another heartbreaking one, because this was a gift. It came together with Good Girl. Okay, because this, like I said, Bay was, coming over, and he went through the duty-free shop and he got me these. He wanted me to have the best at the time. They were just released in that year, and for some reason they just didn't do it. Okay, and it's not his fault. I love the packaging. And because he knows me, he knew, oh, she's going to love this kind of packaging. She loves things that are like out there. But this just didn't do it for me. Okay, so Marc Jacobs Decadence. Let me spray it here. Okay, let me spray it again. Okay, this has been discontinued. So for those who are looking for it, unfortunately, you need to grab it and fast, because it has been discontinued. This is got a heavy plum. And the plum in here feels as though it's pickled. It's got like a heavy pickled plum to it, okay? It's too dusty, too smoky, stuffy, heavy, to a point of a bit annoying as well, you know. And this, I feel, would have been, I wasn't expecting this of Marc Jacobs. This feels so niche, you know, that I don't know why it had to come in that line. It really feels niche, you know. For a niche fragrance, I would really, I can see a lot of people liking this for a niche fragrance, but designer, you know, this to me just didn't do it. But like I said, if you've got your nose on a lot of fragrances, you would definitely fall in love with this one because it is so different. It's done in a really, really different way, not your usual kind of fragrance. But I'm keeping them because you see, especially this one, I am keeping because our noses change with time. Maybe my palette doesn't like this for now, but maybe after a few, you know, a few months, years, I might find myself liking this. So yeah, Marc Jacobs Decadence. I don't like the plum the way it's done in here, okay? Now, second from last is going to be this one. Guys, I'm not even gonna spray Sweet Oriental Dream by Montblanc. I just cannot do this fragrance, okay? And you know, it's just with me, when I don't like something, I don't know, this one is definitely on the declutter list. I just cannot do this fragrance for the life of me, so I'm not going to spray it. But if you know Sweet Oriental Dream, I don't even have to take this clip off. I can smell it already, okay? It is so heavy. It is so powdery. It's like powder on steroids, okay? And then it reminds me, something in here reminds me of like a hospital setting. You know, it's so suffocating, like something that you'd spray to mask something. And after spraying whatever it is to mask something, it just gets worse. That is what I get from Sweet Oriental Dream. Really powdery, but so annoying. Because when you say powdery, you'd imagine musky, pretty. Oh, what's wrong with powder? Not when it's done like this. I just am, you know, I just find it so difficult to even, I just can't do this. Okay. Now the last one, like I said, and I said, no offense meant, but I had to be honest, is going to be Chanel No. 5. Okay. Chanel No. 5, I know Happiness Sparkles loves this fragrance. And, you know, the day I came here saying, oh, I just don't like this fragrance. She was like, oh, no, I love Chanel No. 5. Okay, this one is not a complete write-off, but I just have to be in the mood for this one. There is a shampooiness that goes on with this one that I really like, okay? But it's got this mature thing to it. I will always have this fragrance, you know, just to remember my mom. This is what she used to wear. And for some reason, it used to smell so beautiful on her. And having this, hoping that it will do the same, it just doesn't do that for me. It's got this shampooiness thing that I appreciate. It's got a bit of some sweetness to it, but it's got that aldehydic overdose kind of thing going on here that just is a bit too much for me, a bit too mature for me, you know, and then it's got that powdery finish to it, which, you know, I have to be in the mood for this one. But like I said, I'm not completely dismissing it. It's one that I'll always have in my fragrance collection because it does remind me of my mother, you know, and how she used to smell of this, and it used to smell so beautiful growing up. I used to just feel, you know, oh, she did smell so gorgeous. But for me, it just doesn't do it. So yeah, that is what I had for you guys today. I was talking about 8 popular fragrances in my collection that I am just finding hard to love. 8 popular fragrances within my collection that I just cannot, or I am just struggling to love. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. You let me know in the comment section if you do have an experience either with these ones or some other popular fragrances that you just cannot see what people are raving about and just trying for the, you know, to love them, and then it's just not working. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you did enjoy watching this video. Please turn on post notifications, that way you will be notified anytime I upload a video. Remember to like this video if you like it, and share it if you want to share it. And remember, smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.